Ladies and gentlemen, this weekend is going to be a defining moment for Edwin Sifuna.
This is Sifuna's time. Let us give him support. If other people of this country katika Kenya mzima wanampatia support, kwa nini sisi wazazi wake kutoka Western hatuwezi kumpatia support? Kwa hiyo mimi naapili kwa Waluhya wote wampatie support.
The Luhya nation will officially release their son to the country. Edwin Sifuna is going to be released to officially begin the journey of becoming the next president of the Republic of Kenya.
Charity starts at home. Sasa wana Kenya ambao wamempatia Sifuna support wanauliza sisi wazee na watu wa Western, what are we doing? Are we giving him support? Na nataka kusema nimeongea na wazee wengi wanapatia hii support. Even today I talked to Wako, he's away in Geneva. He told me he supports him, a former Attorney General. Kwa hivyo nawaomba tafadhali, mkutano ambayo Sifuna atakuja Western, atakuja Kitale on Saturday, Sunday yuko Bungoma, Waluhya wote waonyeshe Kenya hii hatuwako na Sifuna.
And I want to ask you this question. If you are to find the name of Edwin Sifuna and the name of William Ruto and the name of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, those three names on the ballot paper, which one would you pick as the next president of the Republic of Kenya? Edwin Sifuna is running for the presidency. And the question now is not whether he will be on the ballot. The question is whether he will be able to win. And for Edwin Sifuna to win the presidency, he must get the running mate. He must get the correct running mate. In this video, I want to look at some of the few individuals who are likely to become Edwin Sifuna's running mate in 2027. Before I do that, in case you're watching the channel for the first time, take a second or two, click the subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, a good running mate should be able to do some of these things. Number one, he should be able to deliver numbers. I've always opined here that politics is a game of numbers, real or perceived. We all know the number of registered voters from the Luhya nation. That alone cannot make Edwin Sifuna the president. We also know that Edwin Sifuna is banking on the young people. That alone might not be enough. So he must get a running mate who will be able to add numbers. During the last election, Raila Odinga made a mistake. The mistake of picking Martha Karua. I believe, and I did this video, which I'm pinning in the comment section, where I advised Raila Odinga and the team to pick Kalonzo. Because by that time, the mountain had decided they were going to go with Ruto, and those who are going to remain with Raila Odinga are going to remain with Raila Odinga. So Martha Karua did not add anything. So a good running mate should be able to add numbers. Number two, this running mate should actually be able to campaign. William Ruto picked Rigathi, and Oscar Sudi confirmed this the other day. Because Rigathi had the ability to mobilize, he had the ability to campaign, he had the ability to attack. So Sifuna's running mate should be able to bring that. And of course, the funding. The 2027 general election is going to be the most expensive general election in the history of the Republic of Kenya. And therefore, as a presidential candidate, you would want to have a running mate who will be able to bring in some money. Rigathi was appointed because he had money. He complimented Ruto. Raila Odinga appointed Martha Karua because he believed Martha Karua was going to win the women votes, which did not really work. And also that Martha Karua, because of a woman, she was going to get funding international, which I think probably she brought. You can't have a running mate who is not capable of bringing campaign funding. And importantly, the running mate should also have a bit of international connections. Ladies and gentlemen, who do you think should be Edwin Sifuna's running mate in 2027? Let me now give you the list. Before I give you my list, can you name for me one or two people you think should be the running mate? Let me begin. My top pick, the person Edwin Sifuna should actually pick, is this gentleman called John Methu. The truth is, if Rigathi Gachagua will be on the ballot, he's going to be on the ballot. But in a case where Rigathi Gachagua will not be on the ballot, Rigathi has the option of supporting Kalonzo and the option of supporting Sifuna. But I think Rigathi wants to support Kalonzo. But supporting Kalonzo would mean that he cannot have a running mate from the mountain. Kalonzo having a running mate from the mountain, it cannot work. And because politics is about interest, Rigathi Gachagua would want a situation where his party DCP, based on their numbers, produces a deputy president. And I'm seeing John Methu because he's been confirming to us that he's been mentoring John Methu. The truth is, in Rigathi's mind, he even believes that his party should produce a presidential candidate even if he's not there. But that will not make sense. Therefore, the best option for him is to front a running mate. And that running mate, the only pair, the best pair would be for that running mate to be paired with Sifuna. And why Methu? Methu is young, bold, he can campaign, especially he has proved himself in Olkalau. He can campaign there. He can help lock Mount Kenya. He can actually help incite the mountain the way Rigathi incited the mountain against Uhuru Kenyatta. So if I were Edwin Sifuna, my first pick would be to negotiate with Rigathi for John Methu to become the running mate. That ticket will deliver both Mount Kenya and will deliver the Luhya votes. It will deliver the young people, and I doubt if that ticket can be defeated. Of course, it can also represent a fresh start. The first option. Number two is Kalonzo Musyoka. But there's a question. Can Kalonzo Musyoka agree to become Edwin Sifuna's running mate? Because if you were to ask me, I think it has reached a point in time where Kalonzo Musyoka has no option other than to run. Yeah? But if the mission is to stop William Ruto, we all know that Rigathi is supporting Kalonzo. And we also know that with the support of Rigathi, Kalonzo would want to be on the ballot. But that will not be enough. So in the opposition, they can agree, let us use scientific method to arrive at our presidential candidate. In that case, Kalonzo cannot even defeat Matiang'i. But let's assume it's Edwin Sifuna who is picked. Then the best pick now would be to have Kalonzo as his running mate. Because having Kalonzo as his running mate would mean he will be able to consolidate the Luhya, he would be able to consolidate the Kamba, and of course the mountain. The truth is, if it's Sifuna Methu, the truth is Kalonzo will be on the ballot, and therefore the Kamba will be out. But if it's Kalonzo Sifuna, you'll be sure of Kamba, and of course, with the support of Rigathi, also the mountain. So Kalonzo makes a good running mate. But for his own political interest, that might not happen. The third person, Irungu Kangata. Yes, you heard me. Irungu Kangata would make a good running mate to Sifuna in case there is Kalonzo ticket supported by Rigathi. Because if Rigathi were to support Kalonzo, then there's going to be that Uhuru factor in Mount Kenya, and therefore Irungu Kangata can carry the wave of Linda Mwananchi to the mountain and bring it to Sifuna. Then Sifuna will now have a competing chance in Mount Kenya, and then hope that you'll be able now to persuade the young people, and of course also to persuade the ODM support base to support him. But this ticket will only work in a situation where Rigathi has declared his support for Kalonzo. And Sifuna is also insisting he must be on the ballot. And that's exactly what I've been saying on this platform, that in 2027, we are likely to have a 3-horse race. And of course, there's also the Babu Owino ticket. Can Babu Owino and Edwin Sifuna ticket work? That's the Western Alliance. That's the question. I know most people believe that it cannot work. For me, it can work. That will help Sifuna solve the Nairobi equation, so that Babu Owino then goes as a running mate. Then Sifuna can bring Ndindi Nyoro down to Nairobi. Then Babu and Sifuna will be able to consolidate the ODM support base, the young people. You know, that ticket, the way it is, you know, you can already feel it. Then Ndindi Nyoro will be able to bring the mountain. But I doubt if that ticket can defeat Ruto. I doubt. Yeah. The other option is for Sifuna and Ndindi Nyoro. Then Babu Owino in Nairobi. But Ndindi Nyoro has lost a bit of momentum. But if pushed, what about Peter Munya? Because politics is a game of numbers, and we are looking at numbers. Sifuna's locked the Luhya Nation. Is going to get a bit of the Luhya Nation and ODM support base. Then we are assuming that Rigathi is going with Kalonzo. So, and of course, you remember, we also have Kindiki. So you'll have Munya to try and neutralize the mountain. I don't know what you think, but for me, the best ticket would be John Methu and Edwin Sifuna, powered by Rigathi Gachagua. That's the only ticket that can stop William Ruto, if you have to ask me. I could be wrong, but I'm hardly wrong. So let me hear your thoughts on this. Till next time, Lee Makwiny, bye-bye.